Talk to me about Redman, man, because I think somehow he's turned out to be one of the more slept on rappers ever because he's one of the greatest of all time. And I think like, you know, I just saw the reaction online from some of the young people when Killer Mike won his Grammy, which he deserved to win.
Yeah, at 48.
And he deserved to win it because he had the best rap album of the year last year.
Yep.
But I feel like these days, like a guy like Redman, like, you know, when I'm growing up, like Redman's like the GOAT, you know what I mean? Like Muddy Waters, and There's a Dark Side, and Blackout, and go on and on and on, Death Squad. What was it like kind of like being around Redman early? Like, what did you see in him that, you know, kind of had you bring him into the fold?
Just the metaphors, the way that he rhymed, you know, the wordplay. Everything about me was as far as the rappers that I was able to get, like Das Effects and them, everybody was Keith Murray. Everybody had something different. Keith Murray had the big words. Reggie had, you know, I got AIDS, bitch. You know, the Eminem, what Eminem liked about him. You know, as far as and
Das Effects had the crazy flow.
Das Effects changed the game because you had all these groups that either emulated them or made records doing the iggity. And when you get a call from Ice Cube saying you know what Das Effects, this is Cube calling. You know what I'm saying? To put them on the record, you know that these guys are making an impact. So, but with Reggie, it was that. I think that I saw him at a club in Newark called Sensations, and he was with Do It All from Lords of the Underground. Do It All rhymed, and Reggie was his DJ.
Crazy.
Right? But then, again, he became Lords of the Underground later on, but he was like, my man rap. And Reggie had one line, he said, I float like a butterfly, sting like the rock group. I thought it was going to be like, you know, float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Yeah. But the metaphor went, float like a butterfly, sting like a rock group. So automatically I'm like, yo, nobody does this. Right. At this time, 1991 or 2. Crazy. He was already ahead, you know. Yeah. So I talked to him, and it was fast. I'm like, yo, Reggie was so ill that I gave him my number, but I didn't write it down.
He remembered it.
Remembered it.
That's how it used to be back in the day, though. You might meet a girl in the mall, and like she'll tell you her number, but she won't write it down, and it's like.
And he said it took a couple of days for him to realize what the number was, and a few days later he called the phone, but he had to remember the number.
That's crazy. What was that conversation like? Like, hey, I'm trying to work.
Nah, it's just like, it wasn't no comment. Me, I'm a nonchalant person. So at the end of the day, like, yo, you want to do this? And plus, he's already a fan. He don't believe this is happening. Like, oh shit, I'm on the phone with Erick. He's inviting me over. Yeah. So that was it.
That's crazy, man. How do you feel about like? Because I feel like hip hop these days is like. I always tell people if you want to find good shit, you gotta like it's there. Yeah. You just have to. It's just not being pushed like we just talked about the Killer Mike thing. But in terms of like, you know, you've been wrapped up in certain like hip hop beef situations, and nowadays I feel like it almost might be more amplified these days than it was back then, because back then you had to go spend money to pick up the source or the Vibe magazine and read the interview in which a rapper was calling out another rapper, or go buy a DVD or whatever. These days you just open your phone and there's 30 blogs talking about whatever conflicts going on. Like, like how do you feel about like the current state of like hip hop in terms of the media and just that kind of stuff?
I mean, listen, to me it made it accessible to everybody, which is a cool thing. Right. But I just think that the oversaturation of music took the excitement away from it. Definitely. You know, as far as something coming out, something like
waiting for Tuesdays.
Waiting for that though too. But to make a long story short, I feel like, to me, music is making a comeback, and if people aren't seeing that, then they're going to be in trouble, because I'm here with you at this time in my career. Yeah. Making music, and I'm gonna make sure that the music is what we know music to be. Like, I'm not trying to play the game of what everybody else is doing. Everybody already doing that, and people are getting tired, and it's being proven. The sampling that Hitmaker is doing, meanwhile, like taking
Hitmaker's crazy
old records, is changing the tempo back. Right. Who cares if it's Foxy Brown? The tempo's back. Who cares if it's Brandy and Mace? The tempo's back. Right. So that's what's changing the game. Even if they are sampling, it's still changing.
People don't
the
realize
tempo.
the tempo. Like, yeah, it's like the 85 to like 100 BPM records are like far and few between these days. It's
Right.
like,
But it's changing. So that means that music is going to be put back in the forefront of what music feels like, to feel good, to inside your soul, to make you, if they still dancing, because I went to a party, whatever, they're just sitting there with their phones and
popping bottles.
Girls ain't
People are
talking
standing in their sections.
Girls
There's not
ain't-
a lot of dancing anymore.
Girls ain't talking to guys, guys ain't talking to girls. Like, what type of shit is this? This is what we living in. But I just feel that at this time, music is making a change. That's why everybody's coming. We ain't gonna name no artists though, but a lot of artists came out and fucked up, and they had to go back in the studio and make rap records.
A lot of people. Well, I want to shout out 21 Savage just put out an album that was heavy on substance, heavy on raps, and a lot of people wouldn't have. I mean, I've kind of paid attention to his evolution over the years, but his new album is crazy.
Kev, what we talking about is not foreign. The game is done shifted,
I agree.
and if people don't wake up, they're going to be in trouble.
They're gonna get left at the bus stop, man.
Exactly. And I'm not sitting here to be hating in the whole and this and that. This is just the way it's at. And there's moves being made that people don't know about yet. That some of the people that we know, the powers that be, aren't going to be in there.
Yeah.
And they're about to move this thing forward. So now, talent
It's gonna
with no algorithms, no how many likes you
Right.
got, none of that stuff. It's all about, are you ill and are you dope? That's where we headed to.
That's how it used to be. As you know, when I was growing up, it was like, yo,
Yeah, of course it was.
it was about the bars. It was about who had the crazy, you know, Neil Armstrong freestyle. You know, like
But all the big writers, like my man got a group coming out to that's sound with Ushers. The girl, what's the girl's name, Bernard?
Simeons.
Yeah, the Simeons. But they didn't go to the new people. They went to the Brian Michael Coxes,
Right.
the Dreams,
Right.
these people who write music,
yeah,
like the Money Love song. This is where we're going. Even Victoria Monet, what she did, she wrote an incredible
my mom was
record.
crazy. No, for sure.
So this is where we at. Somebody who it took her 15 years, she said. So again, the talent is going to outweigh the popularity. This is where we at, and people can. This is where we going. So and so me being out too, I give my assessment on what I feel for young people to know, because this is important. I don't come because I'm a person who's the so-called old head.
right.
You know, I've never been broke in my life. Never gonna be. So I don't come from a point where somebody who's mad because I'm not in the game.
No, you ain't never went nowhere.
I'm in it to also let you know that for 35 years, when you get called, you can go perform. Somebody's
sure.
gonna come and watch you.
Yeah.
This new era, is nobody coming to see them.
Right.
So if they didn't save or have somebody do something for them, that person who turns our age is not gonna be trying to go see fuck, pussy, ass, shit, whatever.
Right.
It won't match.
No, I say this, and like you know, 50 is obviously a generation after you, but I just went to the 50 concert, right, the tour, and I was just like, God, I miss this. Like, people not rapping over their fucking tracks, like, you know what I mean?
And that's the crazy too. And some of our veterans are doing that. I'm like, where you learn that at? How you rhyming over the beat?
It's like
we
people.
never did that.
It's crazy.
Yes. So this showmanship,
Yeah.
all this comes into play. Again, with all the tours that's going, the new people are struggling. All the veterans sold out.
Yep.
It
The
made
Nas
millions
and Wu-Tang
millions.
sold out. 50 Cent sold out.
The Beyonce, everybody that's a veteran had no problem touring.
Yeah, 100%.